All right, guys, real quick, we're going to dive through the financial freedom plan. Now, I have a full article and a probably 12 to 14-minute video on YouTube really diving deep into the financial freedom plan. And I know I've said that on a lot of this stuff, right? I just didn't want to recreate the exact same videos. And I wanted this to be like a short course where you could say, that's a 3-minute video, I'll watch that. Instead of, that's a 25-minute video, I may never get to that. So this has been kind of shorter pieces with like, hey, information on where to find way more if you want to deep dive into it. And we're going to go into some resources on the next one. So if I were to join the military right now, like 18-year-old me, the first thing this is in order what I would do myself. I would earn the matching TSP contribution. So put at least 5% in. Now, for the record, you're not going to get the match until you hit 24 months active time in service. But if you start putting that 5% in immediately, then when you hit that 24 months, you're not going to miss, right? You're going to already have it. And really, I recommend putting more than 5% in immediately. But at least start off with 5%. No matter what, you should be putting 5% in, especially if you're on the blended retirement system and you're joining now, at least 5% into your TSP immediately. And then, learn a little bit more about the TSP and decide if you want to leave it in the life cycle fund that it starts in for your age or change your allocation to something a little bit more aggressive. I recommend, I'll talk about the book in a little bit that I recommend, but I'm in the C and S fund. I'm not going to tell you my breakdown on percentage for allocation right now, but it is what it is, right? So figure out what that looks like for you. Then build a 1-month emergency fund. So if you spend $2,000 a month, put $2,000 in a savings account and just leave it as your emergency fund. That way, if something goes wrong, you have money you can pull from, right? And then pay off any bad debt that you have. Now, by bad debt, I've got some videos on this. I don't necessarily care about like your auto loan that's like 2% interest. I care more about like your high interest debt that, you're really digging into. So like whatever that more expensive debt is, the high interest stuff like your credit cards and your personal loans, like pay that crap off. If you can earn a higher return investing, then invest and leave like the auto loans alone. But like that high interest debt, you should definitely pay off right away. And then I recommend you house hack, right? We've talked about that a couple different times. If you can, if you're BAH eligible or you're you have the money or whatever, if you can make it happen, house hack. I think that's the fastest way to save yourself a ton of money on living expenses and to also really benefit from the opportunities for growth, right? And then save $10,000 cash reserves for that first property. You want to have that in case a water heater blows or whatever, right? So you want to have that 10 grand out to the side. And then from there, you're going to build out that emergency fund 3 to 6 months. So you got a 1 month, now build it a little bit more. That way, if like you get out of the military or whatever, you've got money set aside, right? And then from there, you're going to maximize your thrift savings plan contributions and or your Roth IRA. I would recommend opening a Roth IRA, like a civilian one. But I personally try to max out the TSP before I mess with my Roth IRA. And then, all right, so now we've done all of that. Step 8. Invest in real estate and or index funds. Really just pick what you prefer to invest in and make sure you're investing at least a little bit every month. Even if it's only $100 a month into an index fund, like over time that'll grow significantly. But the more the merrier, right? And if you're already maxing out your TSP or putting a lot into your TSP, this is just bonus, but it will be valuable. And then just be consistent. That's it. Just keep going. Over time, it'll grow. You learn more about real estate and index funds, you invest more, it's going to gain traction. It's going to speed up. It's going to get better, right? So really knuckle down and just be consistent on the basics. And getting wealthy is really simple as long as you do a few steps. So this is kind of my quick overview on like how I would prioritize these things. And yeah, we're going to talk about some resources now.